Okay, we are. I love that. Todd Barrow, that guy. It is the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. Richard Kurtz is going to join us here in just a few moments. The fantastic Richard Kurtz. He is going to be with us. Strategies PR and the La Jolla Writers Conference. And I've got to find his right deal. As he's got two skip Skypes. I don't know why he has two skip Skypes, but he does. But Richard Kurtz is there. He is the biggest star in the business. Don't believe him? Just ask him; he'll tell you. Richard Kurtz with us today here on our big program, and we just got done chatting with your friend and mine, Mr. Alan K. Patch, about his brand new book, and it's a hell of a deal. You work in the book PR industry. How hard is it to take a new book and get it out there and get it going?
Well, it has to be competitively put together. In other words, you can't do one of these anything that's self-published can't look like it was self-published.
Yep.
And most of them do. It has to be very, very well written.
Yes.
And it has to be interesting and catch the reader within the first 2 pages. It has, and that's fiction or nonfiction.
Yeah.
It has to be, it has to be of a subject that's going to catch people's attention. Something political now, obviously, something to do with, if you had a book on the home remedy for avoiding COVID, the book would sell, that sort of thing. But there's 2.5 million books out there.
Yes.
This year. Okay. So, and there's only a third of the country reads.
That too.
So you've got a really, really, really competitive market. So how hard is it? If it's really good, it's really hot, and has a really big celebrity name on it, sometimes yes. And if you've got some back-fed money, as I believe that you have with some of these political books,
yes,
like Obama's book, that's supposedly $60 million deal.
I still think that's ridiculous.
I believe that money came in the back door from the likes of George Soros, and there isn't a sensible publisher out there that would write a check for that book that size. You can't. They'll put them out of business. Because even though it's going to sell, it'll sell, 15, 20 million copies, and the rest of them they'll buy with the money to make it look like they sold more.
Yep.
But how tough is it? It's tough. It's tough. You got to be a writer and a businessman.
Yes.
And that's me. I'm in the middle of day trading. So pardon the bells that go.
No. I think that's awesome that you're day trading and the notification is a bell. I think that's great. It is Richard Kurtz, Strategies PR, La Jolla Writers Conference. He's with us today. He joins us live here on our big broadcast. He is a bang-up PR guru. And he joins us.
Did you say banged up or bang up?
Bang up. No, you're not a banged up PR guru. No, that would be somebody else. We won't talk about them here though. So let's talk a little bit about what we have this week, sir. Foot and Mouth Award. What is this?
This week's Foot and Mouth goes to a professor at a college that I attended for a while, Suffolk County Community College in Selden, New York, and she's a women's studies professor. Now, I know what women's studies was when I was in school, but I understand it's different now. But her name is Janet Gula,
awesome.
Gulla, and she managed to tell the class, unfortunately, to somebody who was recording it, that there's no way they should definitely not vote for Donald Trump. They should vote him out of office. She was instructing them as to how to vote.
Wow.
And since it's a taxpayer-funded school, she got suspended. Thank God for small flavors.
Look at that. It is Richard Kurtz, Strategies PR. one of the things that I love about these stories, especially like that one, is these people are so brazen. They just don't care. It's the strangest thing.
Well, as I have said many times, intelligence is no defense for stupid conduct. It just happens.
So, the next one on the list here is the Clueless Award.
Okay,
what do you have for us, sir?
That goes to the Minneapolis, Minnesota City Council, who voted unanimously to defund the police and is now complaining that there's not enough police protection. I gotta call that clueless. I gotta call that. Did you go and put a plunger on both sides of your head and suck the brain right out of both your ears? I mean, come on, folks. Why do you think they're not showing up?
Well, it's kind of like I think it was Michael Savage played a clip last week of these folks throwing Molotov cocktails into the police department. And there was a guy just walking down the street and had a gun, had a carry and conceal permit, and he shot one of them. And this woman, after she has thrown these Molotov cocktails into the police department, is heard on tape yelling, "Someone call the police!"
Oh, I'm sorry. I wish I knew about that.
So, the Politically Ignorant Award.
Okay. Every station has its punching bag.
Yes.
That would be any guest with any brains that goes on The View.
Yes.
But for Fox News, their punching bag is Juan Williams. Now, I'm sure he's a perfectly nice guy, but he is so far off to the left that he doesn't know his left hand from his right hand anyway. And if there were a doll made up of Juan Williams, and you pulled a string and said, "Obama is great, Obama is great," that's about all it would have to say. So anyway, Juan Williams said today that the Israeli peace deals are an accelerator for chances of war in the Middle East.
Really?
Now, I gotta say that is just one walloping stack of political ignorance. It really is. You can't get any dumber than that. You're gonna have the bad actors in the Middle East. You got Syria, and you've got of course Iran. And
yes.
If you bundle everybody together, that tends to preclude them from taking a step as opposed to encouraging them from taking a step. I'm not sure where he studied, but apparently, he got the book caught on his nose when it got slammed shut. It just...
That's awesome.
Politically ignorant individual. I've heard him, I've listened to him hundreds of times, and I've heard him say something accurate or intelligent about 3 times. So, we're in there.
That batting average is not bad. It's Richard Kurtz.
There was a time when you would get hired for the Mets with that batting average. But not after 68, was it, when they took the series?
That's right. It is Richard Kurtz, Strategies PR, La Jolla Writers Conference. Richard is fantastic. You hear his commentaries on radio, TV. You read them in print. He is phenomenal. And he joins us today here on our broadcast. So the Heads Up Award, what is this?
This is the increased number of police resignations.
Ah.
They are giving America a heads up that if you're going to treat us like dirt, we're going to go work somewhere else.
Wow.
And they're getting out of the cities that are mistreating them. They are reducing their risk positions. My first cousin, I love Bobby, and my wife wrote about him on Facebook for September 11th. He's a retired fireman. He used to be a cop in New York City, and he went back with his brother, who was a retired cop, after 9/11, and they were picking pieces of bodies out of the wreckage.
Wow.
And for his fine work, my cousin Bobby managed to get himself MS.
Holy smokes.
David, his brother, 3/4 of his house went down with those buildings. So anyway, Bobby's daughter's a New York City cop. And every day she goes in saying, Dad, I'm going to be careful. Don't worry, I'm going to be careful. And careful just isn't good enough. And I say a little prayer for her every day when she's got to go into work. So heads up, the police, we're going to end up with private security. And my favorite, really, if we had it, would be RoboCop. I'd love to see him out there walking around during the protests.
It is Richard Kurtz, Strategies PR, La Jolla Writers Conference. And you remember when they used to do those conferences? And people could go to them and mingle and things. Tell us about the Real Guts Award, because to me it sounds like you just did.
Real Guts Award. That would be Alejandro Villanueva from the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
What do we have here?
Alejandro, as a matter of background, he's a former Army Ranger with 3 tours of duty in Afghanistan.
Wow.
Okay. My wife's dad was an Army Ranger. And
apparently so was that dog.
Anyway, so the Rangers are a tough group. And he apparently was the only one who stood for the national anthem while the rest sat in the locker room. Yeah. And the other day he put a piece of tape over his helmet over the name of a shooting victim that they wanted to celebrate. As it turns out, the cop that shot this person was charged with murder and then found not guilty. But kudos to Alejandro for having the guts to stand there and take your stand. Of course, I'm not sure too many people would want to mess with him, but that's besides the point.
That is fantastic. It's Richard Kurtz, Strategies PR, La Jolla Writers Conference. So I guess wrap it up for us today, my friend.
The Disgusting Award goes to Netflix.
Okay.
Giving a bad name to capitalism everywhere. Netflix. Quiet dog.
That dog is mad as hell at Netflix. That's awesome.
In any event, he's my watchdog. And,
well,
all 13 pounds of him. In any event,
13 pounds of him.
Netflix put out this movie called Cuties, which is soft child pornography. There's no other way to label it that.
Yeah.
And it's out there, and they're making money off it, and they're making the argument, whatever argument they can make about it. I got granddaughters. I got a daughter who danced on a dance team in high school, and I got 2 granddaughters. Right now, one's 14 and one's 8 months. And the one that's 14 thinks it was, the idea of it is fairly disgusting too. Yeah. It's just the lowest you can go and still not get arrested for taking advantage of young girls. And who is the director of this? The guy that was who was the pornographer that just died in prison?
Yes.
I mean, come on, guys. You can't do better than this. Netflix has done a lot of really good quality work, but this is just crap. And people are canceling, including us. People are canceling their subscriptions to Netflix just because of this.
Wow, that's a hell of a deal. It is Richard Kurtz, Strategies PR, La Jolla Writers Conference. Thank you, Rich. This has been a fun one today.
Thank you. While we were talking, I just made $300.
You made $300, and apparently that dog just took somebody down. So
just barking at somebody up the gate. But I made $300 just while we were on the air.
Look at that! For the very first time ever, you've made money talking to me. Thank you, sir. I'll talk to you soon.
Hey, have a great weekend.
Appreciate it. There he goes, Richard Kurtz from La Jolla Writers Conference. He just made $300 on the phone. He just made my car payment for me. We got more coming back here on the world famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast.